Alright, so top tier, one big RD on both sides. Pretty much the same comp. You can go either way here. I generally like to make sure that I think the Southwest is generally important. I think the ice road typically ends up in a stalemate. I don't think it's like super big either way. You kind of have to, what I'll generally do is I'll start going out towards this northwest, and I'll see what my faster tanks do, whether they're going to go over here, are we going to get any bridge coverage, etc, etc, etc.
Let's go.
And then it's always very important, you know, 30 seconds, 1 minute into the game, see what your team is doing. So you're saying it looks like a KV-3 T-150 is going ice road. That'll be more than enough to stalemate that out. You want to see if anybody goes up over here. 3001D is. Your M5 Stewart may or may not go curl out here far enough to spot. But it does not look like he is. But it looks like he's going to head down that way. The A43 looks like he's going right there. Challenger is going there. So your bridge is covered, your ice road is covered, everyone else looks like they're going down here. So I would make this decision, which is the same decision you appear to be making, which is to go this way. And then I'll always, especially in a T29, just they basically added this kind of a ditch back here. It doesn't look like much, but it's actually pretty significant. It allows you to essentially hold down as you cross this area right here. I wouldn't even bother stopping to shoot at that guy. Like, if there's a guy right there, I still wouldn't bother stopping at them. I'd go all the way back over here, and then I'll go and shoot at him. Safety first. Safety goggles and helmets required at all times. And then see how this guy's peeking out here. You already got the A43 underneath, so what I would do is I would go to right here and then just look and see what's going to come over this way. You can generally get a free shot. If you're too far back, it's an RD angle, but if you're further up, like anywhere back over here, then it's fine. I don't necessarily like pushing up here. Like, you probably could have waited another couple seconds to see if your guys were going to come up over here. Because in the T29, you don't want to get caught out. But they might not have that much on this side, depending on how aggressively how much you trust your A43 to spot over there. Which, since he's dead, is, I guess, not a lot. But your guess or your call was correct, because nothing. Oh, black print.
It's a trap!
And then just reverse. You can just reverse side scrape over there. It's a little bit of an arty lane, but it's not that much. You generally don't need to go out with your front like that. And so what you should know about this is that, when I say it's a little bit of an arty lane, it's because if there's already back in this area right here, they can shoot down back here. What's interesting is that they can't shoot on this left side over here, this west side over here, and if you move up to about right here, they can no longer shoot you as well. So you want to, this is sort of like a no man's land, and it depends on how good their RD is as well, that you want to be between one of those two areas. It looks like they're going to have a lot on the ice road. If they've only got the black prints here, you can go back. I actually think it would probably be faster to actually even clear through here, because they obviously don't have a whole lot in front of you. And you can still just clear through there, come back through there if you want to go back through here, depending on how fast this would deteriorating over here. Because a lot of it is that, you know, when you're looking to create situations for yourself, it's about efficiency. You know, it's about how much damage can I put out in the shortest amount of time. And like, see how these guys are struggling with this black prince already? Like, if you were moving through there, you probably could have helped them clear it out a lot faster. And then the call here is, okay, well, right? So you look at this now and you go, okay, well, we've got a KV-3 here. So which way do I go? Do I go down here or do I go over here? And in this case, my call would probably go over on this side, because you've got two guys in here already. The Tog's going to be irrelevant because he's going to be out of the play. The Challenger can get to the backside, but he's a rather delicate tank and he can lose. What you don't want to do is be chasing tail the whole time, where you're coming around here as they're driving up here. You'd rather meet them head on. You do have to be a little bit careful though, because their RD is still active, but you've got some guys on that side. And then I would keep going across here, and don't hang out here, because what you want to be able to do is you want to get into a position here as fast as you can so that you can be hull down when these guys come up. And if you're against this wall, you'll be already safe. You're not going to really get any more good shots on those guys, so I would just leave them be. And again, see how your KV-3 is starting to back up here? If he survives, because they were pushing up kind of piecemeal here, you can potentially save him, right? This TOG 2 is
Penetration.
I suppose this is working out.
Gotcha.
Your KV-3 got destroyed. You weren't going to be there. But so what I would have recommended is, because you want to be on this area as they're coming around there, because you can be hull down the whole time, and that basically makes you invulnerable to them. They'll probably be around the base of the hill, the middle of the hill by the time you pull around there if they keep driving forward. The Cheeto will probably be a little bit further forward. You can play up top. I don't really think it's necessary at this point. At this point, there's 2 tier 6s in front of you. You should just bully. The IS-2 is over here. He's eventually going to be able to come back up underneath the TOG, so that's something that you're going to need to keep track of. But that's not something that you can do anything about. I don't think that going up here is necessary. Like, if you really want, you can stop right here. Let's see how there's this rock right here, and you can reverse side scrape off of that. But I don't think that that's necessary. I think just bully.
It's a trap.
And then again, it's about being appropriately afraid of the correct things. You should be more afraid of artillery and less afraid of the Cheeto and the Arl.
Ready to fire. Gotcha.
That's fine. You want to see if the Japanese Tiger is over here. You just want to peek. That's all you need to do. It's just drive up to that bush. It just gives you some intel, right? There's no rush. You know that the IS-2 is out. And then going up here is fine. If you do go up there, you want to be as far back as possible. Not sure why. See, if you were gonna spot over here again, like, you should have done it early. You kind of want to get an idea of intel always. Like, you know where that IS-2 was, at the time. You know that there may or may not be people coming this way. And if it doesn't look like he is, then don't hang out, right? And so what I always think is that, so you come like, what I would have done is come over here initially, check it. If there's nobody there, turn around, go up to the top, and understand that you have 30 seconds to a minute where this is going to be clear, where you're not going to have to worry about it. And then 30 seconds to a minute later, just take a peek off the top ridge again, just to look. It's having vision control, having lanes where are clear, not clear, etc. It's really important in terms of when you're outnumbered. Knowing, because it'll give you an advantage for people.
It's a trap.
Lol. And then this guy's pretty bad. You want to be very careful about how much side you show to artillery in a T-29 down this slope right here. If you're hull down, you might as well turn your hull that way, because it's not like the IS-2 is going to be able to do anything about it.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
This Tiger looks like he's a little bit more proficient. He's actually helping you because he's pushing out into here, which helps you stay clear. You can just keep falling back right now and use this ridge as the hull down.
Enemy armor is hit.
And then just take your time. And it doesn't matter how much premium he's selling.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And then I would actually just go back and check the lane behind you again once real quick, because you don't know where that 3001H is. You also risked yourself getting hit by artillery there. Especially when you're the last one left, you don't want to leave lanes open for too long, because you don't want to get capped out, right? You don't know. You don't have any intel, right? This area is no longer secure. It's a questionable area now.
It's a trap!
Well, this is convenient.
Got him. One of our tracks is damaged. Our main gun is damaged. It's working.
So that really could have been
but not
either
well.
of them. So one of them is still on the base side. You have 6 minutes left. I would actually probably still go back through the cap and come this way. Not for any other reason other than that you're looking to clear out before you get capped out. Although this will help.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Lol. And so whenever you're killing things in certain positions, you have to understand that their team can see the same thing. So they know where their guy was. They know where he got killed. So there's only a limited number of places that you can be to kill that guy. There's only a limited number of places you can be to kill that guy when you were lit. So you have to understand the difference. And especially if you're up against a faster tank, you always have to be cognizant of being capped. And so it's always about down and distance. You want to look at the amount of time that you have left, 5 minutes. Can I do X? Can I do Y? Can I do Z? Otherwise, bad things will happen. And I'm going to guess that bad things are about to happen. But I suppose we'll see. And then usually the best thing is to actually put your rear into the mountain. It doesn't really matter how much side you show.
It's a trap!
Lol. I'm surprised that he was able to hit that. That was not a super easy shot. You don't want to back away, you want to be close. Like, close is your advantage, not far. So I would actually get as close to the mountain as you can. You don't need to worry about your rear now. Yeah, I don't agree with being far away. Far away is to his advantage. At least if you're close, he has to get different shots. You're giving him the opportunity to shoot you is the problem here. And then don't forget, you can always use these ridges to give yourself an opportunity to shoot at a higher elevation. Stop backing up!
It's a trap!
Love.
Commander, we can't see what's going on.
Oh. Take your time.
We
Take your
can't
time.
reload as fast.
You also could have fixed your loader. And I'm not sure. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, close is still your friend. Like, far does not help you. Far always helps him. And I usually, if I don't know which side he's going to come on, I usually just don't stay zoomed in.
We're dead for. Everyone get out.
That was a pretty lucky shot by him. But again, you were just, I feel like you played that very poorly. You want him You want him to be really have to come really close to you. You want him to have to commit to kill you, right? He wasn't going to be able to one-shot you. You want to force him to have to roll down that hill in order to be able to shoot you, or come onto your plane in order to shoot you. And that's why you just get as close as you possibly can to that wall. You know where he's at, and he's got to come down. He cannot shoot down at you underneath there without coming down, right? So just take advantage of that. It always works to his advantage. The further away you are from him, the more of an advantage it is for him, right? You want to avoid giving him that type of advantage. Otherwise, I thought you played fine. I like playing through here. I felt like you could have at least killed the Black Prince and then gone back through the middle. That would have made it more efficient for your team. You lost a lot of your guys over here, and they ultimately lost once their IS-2 came back. But you came over here and you crushed these guys pretty well, which is good. That's what you want to see. Feel like you weren't really safe from their artillery on the way out. Again, a lot of these matches come down to vision control. Know which lanes you control, which lanes are secure, which lanes are not. And know how much time you got. Like when you check this lane, like I said, you know that you got 30 seconds of clear on that side, so then you can go and do other things. And then this lane after that 30 seconds has expired is a big question mark. You don't know what's there, what's not there anymore. So that's what vision control is knowing how long you have before somebody comes up behind you or on your side or into your base and things like that. And that's why those types of things are important. Otherwise, I thought you played it fine at the end. You came back, killed the 3001. Their grill was in an odd position. I just felt like you played this encounter against a Crusader really badly. It's not a very good artillery. It's not. It doesn't have a lot of alpha, it doesn't have a lot of splash, but you gave him the best opportunity that he had to win the game, and it still required 3 different things, right? It required him to shoot you 3 times, and it required him to shot you at the end, right? But you gave him that opportunity. You gave him each and every. You said, okay, I'll make it fair when I come up here, and I'll let you shoot me once for free, right? That way it'll be an almost fair fight. And then you said, oh, okay, well, maybe that's not enough. I'll let you shoot me one more time for free. And then after that, I'm going to panic and track you. And then after that, you just said, okay, well, now it's even, right? Because now both of you are one shot. And then it's like, okay, now it's anybody's game. It's a coin flip. And he won the I'm going to snapshot you coin flip. But you allowed that. You allowed it to degenerate that far. Not that the loss is your fault, but I'm just saying you should have won that. I thought that you were gonna lose that because their Crusader had gone back and was already capping you out. Because then, as you push forward, right? Again, it goes back to the idea of map control. As you push forward, if he's pushing across the ice road, right, and he's in your base before you're on their cap, then you're not gonna get back in time in a T-29. But them's the breaks. Was a very nice try. Your team actually did not do that poorly. They didn't do fantastically, but you did pretty well, which is good. That was very well played for the most part. Actually, it was very well played all the way up until the very end. It was all purple level play, and then it went down to like green. Sorry, man. GG, nice try. I will send you a code through the North American forums if you are on the North American server. Alright, and the next one is also on Mountain Pass, this time in a T-54 Proto. Alright, so wow, the only top tier. There's a bunch of 6s, one reasonably small already, but that can still hurt you pretty badly. I would play this pretty much the same. You want to look to bully. You're a little bit slower than most of your actually most of your tanks are slow. So I would actually do the same thing. You could play this corner to start if you wanted, or you could play this corner to start if you wanted. I don't like to commit too far too early, just because it's really dependent on what your team does at this point. So you got a couple guys here, but like when you don't have that much pushing up behind you, I usually stop right here because it's much safer than committing further. It also allows you to shoot back at those guys if you wanted. Although you could bully this game though, so you can make the argument that you can pretty much solo anything that comes up here. So that's fine, but always keep in mind as you're doing this right now that hey, I don't have a whole lot behind me yet.
It's a trap!
Oh, you totally got a tiger. You're giving him a little bit too much side. There you go. Take your time. And you can also push up to this rock right there and basically do a side scrape out of it. Like seeing through these trees is going to be a little bit difficult. Like you don't. He's over there.
It's a trap!
He's still gonna struggle to pen you, so you need to bully. You need to just bully this guy before he gets back up. Especially against a stock tiger. You're slow playing this a little bit too much. He either went forward or he went backwards, right? There's only two options. Oh, he went forward.
It's a trap!
You need to bully, like every single shot here. Every single time you're reloaded here, you need to be bullying this guy.
It's a trap!
Like, especially a lot of these tanks, in a sense, you kind of just want them to shoot you. You just want to sit out there and you just want to keep shooting them, because they're going to struggle to pen you. But you need to bully. You need to bully a lot more than you are right now. You gave him a little bit too much side. So they're starting to get back up now. Yeah, now you have to back up and you have to actually bully. No, bully the Tiger P. Because you don't want him to be punishing your tanks. Like you're spending too long in this game loaded. Like ideally, whenever you have a bunch of targets, you want to spend most of the time reloading. Like most of this game should be spent reloading right now. Push this guy and bully. Get in front of your panther. Just bully. And then once this guy's done, this is almost the same situation as the T-29. It's probably almost faster for you to go through. Stop giving him so much side. Stop giving him so much side. He's got no chance to pen you frontally. The only way he can hurt you is if it's through the side like that. And then you'll probably want to push through, come back through this middle, and then go back through into your base.
It's a trap!
Just let it aim in. If you're gonna wait that long, you might as well let it aim all the way in. Especially if he's gonna be oblivious. Right? He was giving you that shot. Make sure you make it count. All right, it's fine. I think it's you can turn back. Again, you just needed to make that happen a lot faster. They were very slow. They were willing to come one at a time with low tier tanks at you, and they said, we're willing to feed you, and you're just like, I'm not really that hungry. You know, when you have a chance to bully, you need to just crush. There needs to be no chance, there needs to be no doubt. You need to feel sorry for them after you kill them. Like, that's how bad it should be. That Tiger with the stock turret had no chance. That M6 had no chance. That Type 58 had no chance. The Tiger P technically had a chance. He wasn't a very good player, but you know, those guys, they all came one at a time, right? The Tiger 1 came, and then the M6 came. The Type 58 was probably sitting in the back the whole time, but who knows? And then the Tiger P came along there, right? Just one at a time. That was the best possible scenario for you. All you had to do was just bully. Okay, but still got a game to play. So there's a Firefly there. I wouldn't worry too much about him. You can get a shot on him as you leave. Good job. Keep driving. Good job. There's no reason at all for you to stop there, unless you want to get RD. And then what you need to do here is actually push forward into this. And you're more worried about the Panther 2 than the Jumbo. The Jumbo's not gonna hurt you. So let's get this Panther 2 down. Bully, bully, bully.
It's a trap!
And then you gotta be worried about Artie here, but the OI got his shot in. I would actually just push that guy. Push the Panther 2 now. Oh, especially since the Jumbo. Just push forward, push forward, push forward. You want to be clear of Artie. You don't want Artie to be able to connect you. You don't need to stop. This guy is not hurting you. Right? It's about knowing where the threat is. The threat is not this guy. No, push forward, push forward. Get safe, my man. Oh my god! They keep offering you free damage and you refuse to take it, but you like offering them free damage too. So that goes both ways. So actually, it's probably fine to go and clear this guy out. That the Panther will probably get him, but it doesn't hurt to do it. And then go back through this way to take the JP. Or maybe the Panther can't do it. Again, another guy can't really hurt you.
It's a trap!
And then it's the same situation. You since you're already over here, you might as well just clear this lane. Vision control. It makes it so that you won't get RD'd, etc., etc., etc. Like that. Just go check it. Just go check it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, nothing there. Okay, fine. Now you go around, go back. Then you can either go up the hill if you want, if you don't think they're gonna push, or you know their JP was killed your, I forget what was over here, killed your duder over there. So you know that there's probably something coming around this side. There you go.
It's a trap!
Oh, don't push forward! Don't push forward! Don't push forward! Don't push forward! Do not push forward! Stop pushing forward! There's zero reason for you to push forward there. Oh no! He's sad. Oh, OI coming out with his side. I think we need to have a little conversation with you guys about artillery lanes on this map, because both you and the T-29 kept pushing into them. Oh, look at this JP. Look at him smoothly getting himself derped. No! The other guy cleared it. Oh well. Yeah, so anyways, I really felt like you could have just bullied here, just straight bullied here, but you played it a little bit too timidly. You could have pushed up to this rock here, and that would have been fine. You actually pushed in pretty aggressively to start, which was, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have done it. I would have maybe waited for backup, but you could have made the argument that you're the only top tier in the game, so whatever you ran into, you were going to be able to bully. But then you got over there, and then you're just like, oh man, stock tiger, ah! There's no reason why you shouldn't have just abused that tiger. Just straight abused that tiger. The Tiger P was a little bit of a threat. The M6, not really. And the Type 58, not at all. Don't give people side armor. You gave a little bit too much side, which is what allowed the Tiger to shoot you once, which is what allowed the Type 58 to shoot you twice, including ammo racking you once, along with hitting your track. You know, you want to avoid giving guys that have no chance. Like that Type 58, he should have had no chance to pen you. APCR, AP, HE, doesn't matter, right? His game was over as soon as he decided to stay there against you. But as soon as you just turn and give him side, you know, that's to his advantage. He's like, oh, the only way I can hurt this guy is if he turns his side or his rear to me. And you're just like, okay, I'll help you out. So you didn't really need to do that. But I felt like if you could have dominated there, you would have had much more time back here. And then when you come over here, you did fine. The Panther 2 was the only threat. The Jumbo, not a threat. Easy 8, not a threat. Nothing else there was a threat. We always talk about this in the stream and in these reviews. It's about knowing about being appropriately afraid of the right things. You know, don't be afraid of the Jumbo. Don't be afraid of the Easy 8. Be afraid of the Arty. Like that you should have been thinking the whole time. This Jumbo's right next to me, but I'm not afraid of the Jumbo hitting me. I'm afraid of the Arty hitting me. Like that should have been the thinking. That's why you keep pushing through here. Make sure that you're already safe. And then coming back, you know, when they push that JP and the Hellcat over here, if they're sitting on that hill right there, don't push across the hill in order to come and get to them. That's to their advantage. You know, where that JP was, he was going to have a hard time trying to shoot down, you know, cresting this hill to shoot down at you guys. You could have waited for the OI to shift over to reload and help you. But pushing out there was just a bad choice. You gave him a little bit too much side, and then Arty just blapped you. And so if we look at the stats, you did not get a whole lot out of your team. I thought your OI did reasonably well. But it's not like their team was like world beaters either. But you did pretty well. 24 for 25. It's pretty good. Just in that early game, and again, this is something that we keep going back to in the stream, is if bully, then bully. You know, if you've got that opportunity where you're just like, I'm in a tank and the tank that I'm up against has no chance. Like if he's got no chance, like you should not be waiting to reload. I mean, I'm sorry, you should not be waiting to fire once you're reloaded. Like every single reload, you should already be in his face, rubbing it in that your tank is better than his and that he can't do anything to stop you from just crushing him. Like it should be that bad. And when you're in a tank like the T-54 Proto in a matchup like this, you want to try to execute in that fashion where you're just completely crushing them, and they're just like, oh. You want to see them complaining in the game. Oh man, there's nothing I can do against that OP tank. But GG, nice try. It was you had a really good game. I mean, again, a lot of these things are just minor quibbles that we're making, but these minor shifts, you know, turn losses into wins. Just minor corrections, knowing what to be afraid of, knowing when to bully, when do you have an advantage, when do you not have the advantage. You know, it's not just about pressuring when you have the advantage, it's about understanding how to slow people down when you're at a disadvantage, you know, how to basically hang on to an area without taking too much damage if you're just trying to buy your team on the other side time. Anyhow, I will send you codes through NA server. Yeah, I mean, you might not have realized the Tiger side. You can check it two ways. One is based upon the health, but that's kind of difficult. If you're running XVM, I think it's useful to run XVM. Even if you're not running stats, you don't need to run stats, because one of the things that XVM will tell you is it'll put a little star next to their name if it's a stock turret. So typically stock turrets cannot equip the top gun. So typically if you see a stock turret, you know that they have the lower gun as well. In most cases, not always, but in most cases. And so those are, especially if you're in an armored tank, those are signs that, hey, this guy's got no chance against me. I should just, you know, mop the floor with him. Like, it would actually be different if that Tiger, you know, had the top gun, because then he theoretically can pen you if he aims frontally, and that becomes a different equation slightly. But you still need to bully him, even if he's the top Tiger. Alright, so the next one is in 9.9. Hang on, let me move this down then. And let's hope that my 9.9 client works. It's doing something, I think. Hurrah. Alright, mid-tier, no RD, you have speed advantage. Yeah, I would... Man, this thing is loading quite slowly. Oh, there we go. So you have a speed advantage. They have a lot of big tank destroyers, which actually I think works to your advantage in Malinovka, because usually they'll tend to stay near the base. Like the T-95 will like camp behind this rock the whole game. The Waffle will like camp over here or over here the whole game. So I would definitely push hill, and so my theory on Malinovka hill is that you push fast tanks up there to secure the hill, and then as the slow tanks push up there, you can just leave and go do something else. But you always have to see how your team disperses, you know, 30, 60 seconds into the game. You want to look at the minimap and see what your team is doing, because that's going to affect how aggressively you're going to play and how where you're going to go and what you're going to do to get there. So most of your guys are leaving the base, which is good to see. You have a Roomba still in the base, which is meh. You have an LTTB in that far corner, which is meh. You have a VK2801 in that G6 area, which isn't really going to help anybody. You do have a T49 going hill-esque. It doesn't look like, it looks like he's going to drive up that road. It looks like the T95 is camped behind the rock that I said that the Waffle was going to camp behind, so I guess I was wrong there. Oh, but the Waffle is... Oh no, I said the Waffle was over there. I said the T95 is going to be right there. The Waffle is right there. So the Waffle is where I said he was going to be. The T95 is shifted a little bit more west than I thought it was going to be. And you never want to drive up on this in this lane. You don't really benefit much from it. You don't... The only thing that can possibly happen is that you get lit and shot at, which is why I always like going up in this ditch. You do have a couple of your high tier mediums coming up there with you, which is good to see. So there's only a number of tanks that can possibly be up here. And you know that it's not 1390 or the Waffle. So yeah, you can push forward a little bit.
It's a trap!
Then wait for your team, wait for your team, wait for your team. This is a paper tank, so you need to be a little bit cautious. They're shooting at your team, so now you can shoot at them. I would actually just shoot the comment if you got shots on the comment. The T-44, sometimes if you've only got turret shots, you can hit manlet, and that's a little bit more sketchy. At this point of the game, you just want to start punishing some people so that it scares the guys behind them. There's a lot of fear tactics involved. There's no, at this point, there's no need for you to keep pulling forward, coming back, pulling forward, going back. Just sit there and just rail, And the whole thing is that the advantage of being in this position first is that you get all this free damage. Now hit that IS-6.
It's a trap!
You should have shots on that IS-6. You're trying to shoot through like his turret. Like you can shoot through the his upper glacis driver's hatch. You hit the ground. You can also shoot through the IS-3 as well. There you go. They're not shooting at you. You're killing a little bit of time off of each reload. They're not spotting you, but you're killing your time. You've only got shot at his Mohawk pick. Okay, so the comment's coming up the back. That's not too much of a problem. You should probably make sure that he dies. There's no need for you to push forward here anymore. The thing about the hill is you want to own them as they're coming up, right? You guys traded really well there. Now it's a disadvantage for you to try to push down this hill. This is where you just go and trade elsewhere because they've traded so poorly here. Don't do it! Don't do it, my man. Right, they've traded so poorly here that you've gotten an advantage, but don't give that advantage back by continuing to push through here. See, now you guys are the ones that are trading poorly. And so you're giving back all that health that you guys gained by taking the hill first, by trying to push off like this. And so what you should do, and you can have people coming down off of there, but you need to have people over here dealing damage. Because otherwise you guys just gonna get smoked. You're not really gonna have a very good shot at that. That's what that should be.
It's a trap!
And again, if the shots that you have are not quality shots, and these are not quality shots, you need to get someplace sort of a quality shot. I don't think that shot was worth it, but it was a good shot on the side of a 4502B. But that's why you never want to push off of this hill. You just want to take it, right? And I hope you guys see that, right? You saw how well that you traded there just by catching it. You were up here first, so you traded so much better than them, and then you just gave it all back. And so that happens on a lot of maps. The maps are designed in a sense in that fashion, where there's a strategically important area to play through, and then after that, though, between those two areas, there's a big dead space. So you want to be careful leaving those strategic areas. Take your time. No, well, I guess you will. I didn't think you were gonna get a shot on that. So then what you want to do is you want to just dominate these guys down here as you can. You're also slowly losing the other side. It's not really a good shot. You need to for him to move forward just so you can shoot his drive wheel in order to get that shot in. He almost did.
It's a trap!
That was not a very high percentage shot, but it went exactly where it needed to. Just hit the little edge of the drive wheel. But I'll take it. And then you need to be careful. You keep pushing up here. Don't forget that you can get shot from down there just as easily. You can't front these guys where they're at. It's much easier to come through the side. You're not going to get good shots on those guys. They're in the ditch. And that's the advantage of playing the ditch, especially when there's no arty. You're just not, there's just nothing there for you. And if there was something there for you, you would get lit, and that makes you really, really vulnerable to getting shot down there anyways. So, in a sense, it's to your advantage that it's not. And so you're spending a lot of time now, a lot of dead time now doing nothing. And so when you find yourself doing nothing for large stretches of time, that's usually a sign that you need to move someplace else. And that's the nice thing about being in fast tanks, is that you can do that. Nice shot. Lol. Lol. GG T49. That was huge. You still need to go back. So you're really going to need someone else to spot. So really, so as far back as you need to go is really just like in this area right here that gives you complete cap coverage. The thing about Malinovka, as we've said many times in the stream, is that it's really easy to defend the cap. You just need to be sure that you know they don't get enough screeners out there. And then you just wait. Just wait. Ferdinand or somebody's going to go and spot. They're just going to need you to get the resets for them. And you need to make sure that you don't get lit here, because otherwise you're going to get boned.
It's a trap!
It's like, oh, they got off cap. That's fine. If they get off the cap, just let them. Just let them. Let's just figure out, kill the rest of the guys. And your IS-6 push through there. Yeah, CDC going around the outside. I don't necessarily like being where you are right now when there's no artillery. I think it's much easier to play down in here. They've basically added a ditch all the way down this zero line. There's a bunch of bushes there that you can be in, and it makes it much safer. See how every time you get lit, you're just like, oh, I gotta take my gun out of play. If you're down there a little bit more, it's less of an issue.
It's a trap!
You can also get shot in the rear there. There's a lot of opportunities for you to get killed where you're at, and that's why I don't really necessarily like playing that place. That was a nice shot. Let's get some action on this T95 crossing the middle. He's most likely facing slightly in your direction. No, T95, you know. And then you need to be careful not to be too high here, because the higher you are, the more likely you are to get shot from over there. Somebody needs to spot here, whether that's you or somebody else, it's fine. Just go up. You don't need to go that far. You just need to go up a little bit. There you go. And you definitely want to be as far back as you can. You're not actually the one spotting him. Yeah, see, he's turning towards you. And this is the problem when you don't have any flanking pressure, is that he's got no reason to not be facing east. But unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot of options because you don't have a whole lot of health. But doing the same thing over and over again is not really helping you. Like, I actually would just let the T95 just get on the cap at this point if that's what he wants. Right, and just worry about doing things elsewhere. Oh, he's turning. No, he's not. See how the T-54 is kind of on the flanking side, though? So light him for the T-54, or allow the T-54 to light him. You need to protect that T-54. If that T-54 dies, you're kind of boned. If he doesn't die, then he's going to try to turn and shoot the T-54, right? He's going to give you guys opportunities. See now, see the difference now is that this T-95 has nowhere to go, right? He can't face you any longer because of the T-54. And that's the power of flanking. This T-54 doesn't have to do a single shot of damage. As long as he makes this guy turn, his job is completely 100% successful. He just needs to be sure that he doesn't get killed out there. And then just wait. There you go. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Yeah, and so what should happen is your T-54 should actually come back through this way and you guys should all go together. But it doesn't look like this is going to happen. And I'm going to guess he done get derped. And then you want to be careful going up here. I actually think it would probably be better to play this side right now. I don't think any other guys went hill. And if any other guys did go hill, you'd already be boned because whatever you run into, you'll be able to kill. It's always I spend a lot of this game doing scenarios. So where do I think guys are going to be? And if somebody is here, if somebody's right in front of me, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? You know, do I want to run into somebody now? No, probably not. I'm in a paper tank with 130 health. Even the 1390 could one-shot me at this point. So then you need to take an approach that minimizes the effect of the fact that you are in a paper tank that can be one-shot by anything left in the map. It is likely that the 122-44 is still camping. It is likely that the Roomba is in the same general area. And so if you cross down this A line, it's going to be dangerous for you. It's still probably best to come in through here. Again, I don't think the hill was a necessary play here. You only have 2 minutes. It's not... You can't spend a little bit of time. Your T-54 is on the other side, but you've got no help. And so... Down in distance. Down in distance. Minute and a half. 3 tanks left. And again, that's why I was a proponent of coming down into this area here. I really feel like I could have gotten much better shots. Also load HE. And then it's YOLO swag time. No, unfortunately, nobody else is going to be able to help. You could probably wait like 10, 15 seconds for that guy.
It's a trap!
One shot by every tank in the game. Why is this 430 stopping? Don't stop, man. The 1390 is just like, oh my god, I gotta hide. Lol. Be sad. So very bad. Oh, there he goes. Anyhow, so I accidentally exited out of that game, but my overall story is manyfold. One is, you know, as we said while we were doing the review, watch how well your team traded by having that strategic position of getting to the windmill first. See, you saw how difficult it was for them to push up that final stretch, right? You guys just owned them, just straight owned them. And then you gave it all back after that by trying to push down off of there. So once you get your big victory, you know, once you've owned that strategic point, be careful about how you leave it, because a lot of times what Wargaming has done when they create their maps is that they isolate those strategic points, and then afterwards there's these long stretches between them in which you can get railed on. And it's the same thing going the other way. If their team had won the hill, pushing off of that hill becomes more difficult than it was taking the hill. And so you want to be careful with your team and with your health when you do that. And again, while you're up on that hill, you weren't really getting very good shots for the most part, and you took far too much damage than what you needed. So you needed, whenever you find yourself in situations like that where you're struggling, especially if you're in a fast tank, go ahead and relocate. I mean, find someplace better. Don't try to make that square peg go into the round hole. You know, go and find another square hole. Or whatever, you know what I mean. Anyhow, otherwise, I thought you actually played that pretty well. Know the time, know how much time you have left. Make sure that you get yourself in position. I didn't feel like the hill play at the end was very good. I felt like you could have gone even across the lake, across the middle, into the area where you could have spotted where the Roomba and the 122.44 was at, and you would have been much safer, and it would have been much faster, and you would have been much more productive for your team in that alley. But you did pretty well, which is good. 17 pens on 40 shots is not a great percentage, but some of those were just hope shots. Some of them were just bad shots. Like I think a couple of them on the IS-6, you were just shooting straight into his turret, which is not really going to be that productive. But overall, generally not bad shooting. A little bit, you expose yourself a little bit too much to take a bad, not a great shot on a 4502B, which is what got you hit by their Roomba. No, it was the Waffle. Sorry. But GG, nice try. I will send you a codes through the North American forums.